So a big question that parents ask us is, what do all the stamps mean? And that's understandable. So I'm just going to really quickly take you through what we've got and what they mean. So it's just a really quick way for me to see what their progress is and for giving the students a bit of incentive to progress. So when they can play a piece through with the correct notes and the correct rhythms and the correct fingering, they receive this stamp here. And this is like a well done, you've achieved that, you can tick that off and move on if you wish. We also have this lovely little green hand stamp here. Now, what's this one for? Can you tell me?
Good technique.
Well done. So the good technique, this gorgeous hand stamp with a smiley face on it, is something that you probably won't get much of if you've got a younger child, age 3, 4, 5. Because they really do find that difficult to get the perfect technique every time. If you've got an older child, age 6 and above, this is where this stamp can be really good to get them to practice, because I'm quite happy for them to, I am picky with their technique in lesson, but they might not be playing it consistently. To get the technique, they have to play the whole piece really well consistently with good technique. So sometimes you might find that your child is just getting the red stamp and then moving on. What they can do to practice is play the piece that is already stamped off at home, and you can help them with their technique so they can come back the next lesson and say, oh, Philippa, I've been practicing this piece, I can play it now with really, really good curved hands and bent fingers. And it just gives them a little bit more incentive to practice. And likewise, this is the third stamp here, which is the fluency stamp. So because we expect our students to count aloud where they are, where the beats are, so they know exactly where they are in the bar, I'm quite happy to stamp a piece off if they can play it, but not totally fluently. So this is another way that you can encourage your child to practice at home, because if they can play a piece without stopping, without hesitating, without pausing to check what that note is, or perhaps having to go back and change a note, and they can get their fluency stamp, it's just something for them to aim towards. These bottom two stamps, they don't have to be practiced on pieces they've just done. So let's say, for example, your child's on their orange book and they're working towards the end of their orange book, hands together. What might be a good idea is to go back to a more earlier piece, you know, like when we were just doing right hand or left hand, and get them to practice that. It'll be easier, it'll be something they have to concentrate less on the notes and the new things they're learning, and they can focus a little bit more on technique and fluency, and then come back and get a stamp from earlier on in their book. And it's just a way to get your child to practice that's a little bit less demanding